Okay, today I want to talk about Seeking Sister Wife, specifically the Joneses, because nothing is ever happening with them, but something is actually starting to happen with them now. The Merrifields, for whom something is always happening. The Davises, not much happening with them, but there's a little bit of something. And, the apps. Let's cover them all in this video. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie. I am the She in Sheality TV, and today, like I said in the intro, I want to talk about Seeking Sister Wife. Let's talk about the Merrifields first. So Garrick and Danielle continue to talk about what's going on with Bert, right? She's feeling kind of distant or whatever. Now, I'm feeling like Bert has been talking about how sick her mother is. You know, she doesn't want to leave her. I can't see her leaving her mother alone to move to the US when she's supposed to be so sick, right? Okay, in the last video we talked about how Bert got her visa. Her visa was granted, but she hasn't gone to the embassy to pick it up yet. So they say, right? And she supposedly has 30 days to pick it up. So instead of her going to the embassy and picking up her visa and making all of those plans between the US and Brazil, the Merrifields are going to Brazil, I guess, to talk to her or do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Garrick and Danielle have a conversation, or I should say Danielle has a conversation with Garrick about how he's so thirsty to have a baby with this woman. I'm telling you, this dude has already checked out. He's already gone. Mentally and emotionally, he's already gone. He's already with Bert. He does not want to stay with Danielle, right? He's looking for any reason to go to Brazil and stay there because Dannielle asks him, this whole business about having kids. Let me back up a second. She has a sit-down coffee with her brother, right? And she tells her brother that, Garrick still wants to have kids with Bert. And, it sounds like he's going to try. And this just sounds so dirty. He's going to try and get her pregnant while they're in Brazil. Shameless. This man has no shame. And so the brother says, okay, but wait, if he gets her pregnant and she doesn't wind up coming to the US, then what? Right? So Danielle, it feels like she's kind of cluing in, but she's like, you know what? I never really thought about that. I guess I'll have to talk to Garrick about that. I'm sorry, she's too calm. When they divorce, they should have divorced, like split, like a normal divorce, and then move on from there. Do you know what I mean? Now they divorced and stuff is still the way that it was. Like their living arrangement is still the same. Nothing has changed except on paper they're divorced, right? So anyway, she decides to have this conversation with Garrick and she asks him, what about, if she Bert decides that she doesn't want to come to the US and blah, blah, blah. And Garrick actually says, well, she's still a part of our family. I'm sorry if you can hear that, but she's still a part of our family. That soft voice makes me just want to punch him in the face. I can't stand. What is with these men and these? She's still a part of our family, and I would have to go there for part of the year. And Danielle is just like, okay, so wait, so you spend part of the year with her and part of the year, like what? What are you talking about? And she actually, when they're interviewing her, like offside in front of the camera, she starts to tear up and she's like, okay, what? He's actually planning to have kids with her. I think that this is what he's had planned all along, right? And it wouldn't surprise me if he and Bert were in cahoots and she has no plans on coming to the US. But he and Danielle are going to go to Brazil. He's going to, God, so dirty. This man is rank. I'm sorry. He's going to get her pregnant while he's there in Brazil. And Bert is not going to come to the US. He's going to actually leave. So, I can't stand this man. Whatever happened to finding a third wife? Now he doesn't want to find a third wife anymore. Not about finding a third wife. He just wants to go and get Bert pregnant. I can't stand this man. I'm sorry. I don't even know why Danielle is still with him. I can't stand him. He is just gross. Like, it feels like he has an ulterior motive. Like I said, this man mentally, he's already checked out. Emotionally, he's already gone. But he's trying to get Dannielle on board with it all so that, I don't know if I would say that he's not the bad guy, but I think he's trying to get Dannielle on board because, I don't know, it's just easier, right? If she agrees, yeah, let's get another wife, blah, blah, blah. And by saying, oh, well, Bert's still a part of our family. No, she's not. She's not a part of your family. Dannielle is your family. Your kids are your family because Dannielle has your children. You guys are family. Bert is not a part of your family. Bert is some chick you met online. Period. She is not. I'm sorry. Bert's not coming to the U.S. I guarantee it. Bert's not going to come to the U.S. And Garrick is going to try his hardest to get her pregnant so that he can be rid of Dannielle. He does not care when she says, you know, what about our family? What about our kids? He does not care, sweetheart. He doesn't care. All he cares about is him damn self. Period. I'm getting sick of talking about these two. Let's talk about the Epps. I gotta say, what is it about all of these sister wives? The guys who already have more than one wife are like yay big. Garrick is probably 5'5". What's his face? Epps, this dude, probably 5'5". The other dude, Nick Davis, maybe 5'5". Like, they're all tiny, and they have all these women, right? Now, I feel like these men prey on women who are not secure. They're not independent, and they're not like the types of women who will say, yeah, I'm sorry, excuse me, except for India, right? She's the only one who's like, I'm not having it. We're not doing this. If I say we're not doing it, we're not doing it. But, what's his face? Epps. This guy came. Remember in the last episode, he paid for a ticket for one of his, we'll call her an old friend. I don't know. They used to have a thing back in the day, right? So he paid for a ticket for her to come up and visit him. They had dinner, and she told him that there's not really much going on in her love life. And he told her about his polygamist tendencies, right? Told her that he already has 2 wives, whatever. And she does not sound like she is on board, right? She's not even doesn't sound like she's on board. She ain't on board. Okay, she's not looking to do it. So if there's one thing that pisses me off, it's when, even if I don't sound like I'm on board with something, leave me alone. Leave me alone. If I was on board, I would have said yes. This is how I feel with Marcus going after this woman time and time and time and time again, unless she is only, like, they're trying to keep her in the loop because, I mean, she's pulling a check for this, right? So, again, she's supposed to be in town for business, and they get together for lunch. And she says she didn't write him off because they're friends. They've known each other a long time. And so she thought, you know what, I'll meet him for lunch. I'm not going to write him off just because, you know, he's got 2 wives or whatever. So again, they're talking, and he again gets on the subject of, you know, his polygamous relationship, and does she want to give it a try, and has she thought about it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, shut up. Shut up. She said, I don't think it's for me. So then he decides that, you know, by the end of the lunch, in another scene, he talks to Taryn and India, and he tells them that he wants her, the old friend, to meet them, and so that they can kind of push her in the direction that he wants her to go, which is to join their threesome. I'm just like, you know what, little man? Yeah, I can't stand him. I can't stand any of these guys. Like, none of them, right? So he's going to get Taryn and India to talk to her and convince her that what she wants to do is join them. Like, this is a cult. Seriously, this is a cult. They're not sister wives. They're cults. It's a cult. The way that they've got it set up, they're a cult. Same with the Nick, the Davises. Same thing. They're a cult. Him with the 3 wives, Dannielle, and I don't know what the other 2's names are, but moving on to them, they have decided that they're going to take on Dannielle. Now, they have this, you know, big meeting, kind of an impromptu meeting at the beach or whatever, where they're talking about, oh, well, we've tried to incorporate other women, and they just couldn't get on board with, you know, how we operate, so they were not suitable. But, you know, at the end of this supposedly all-important meeting, they decide that Dannielle is a good fit, so they're going to give her the good news. Now, this dude who does nothing but stay home and think, this dude preys on the insecurities of a particular type of woman. That is obvious. He also has a preference for the younger chick with the long blonde hair. I can't even remember her name. A preference for her over the first wife that he had. Because in all the pictures you'll see that he's huddled up with her and the other one is like leaning on his back, or he's holding her hand, or when they went away on that trip, the two of them snuck off in the middle of the night and had their little tryst while the first wife was in the uncomfortable bed by herself. So anyways, yeah, these men prey on insecure women, period. Right? The Epps and the Davises, they operate more like a cult, right? And that is what Tasha's mom says. Moving on to the Joneses, Tasha meets with her mother, and they have coffee or whatever, and she tells her that Sidian is in the Philippines. Now, Tasha is the recruiter for these two, right? Because these two can't hang on to a woman to save their lives, okay? So Tasha, I guess, reached out to someone that she used to work with, and I don't even know how that came about. All I know is that she reached out to her. They used to work together, and now Sidian is in the Philippines visiting this girl, and they're getting along so well, and now they're thinking about how am I going to bring you to the U.S. on the fiance visa or the K-1, right? It's like, why? Like, why? Why would you? When Tasha asks them, she calls because, oh, I'm lonely, and I miss you, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not like this is strange to you. You've done this before, right? You were the second wife once upon a time, right? You were the new one who came in on a couple where there was already a husband and a wife, and now you're calling him because you're lonely. And she has a question. She asks them if they've been intimate yet. What's wrong with these people? Why would you even want to know that? I don't know. It takes a specific personality type to be in this kind of a relationship. It ain't my personality type, I'll tell you that. There's no way in hell. No way. Anyways, so Sidian and this girl in the Philippines, they seem to be getting along well, and it looks like, hey, maybe Sidian's caught himself a new woman. I don't know how it doesn't feel weird that this is someone who was friends with Tasha, or who is friends with Tasha, which is kind of what they were in before. Last season, Tasha recruited a girl. One of the girls that they were vetting was someone that Tasha knew from before. Anyways, who have I not spoken about? The Davises, spoke about the Davises, the Epps, the Merrifields, and I think we're pretty much done. Anyways, that's all I've got for Seeking Sister Wife. And this last episode, again, and as usual, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time.